Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah, and I wanted to welcome all of you to another installment of Monologue Monday here on my YouTube channel.
Monologue Monday.
If you happen to be a returning viewer to this series on my YouTube channel, I want to thank you so much for tuning back in. I greatly do appreciate it. And as always, I hope you can take something away from this video as well. With that being said, let's get into this installment of Monologue Monday. So for this episode of Monologue Monday, I wanted to share some of my thoughts on what retirement might look like for people in my generation, right? So people in their, late mid-20s, early 30s. I think the general consensus on what retirement is supposed to be like is that, you work here in the United States, you have a family, they have a family, and then after some time, you retire. And when you get older, you maybe go to a nursing home or assisted living center, and then kick it, right? Generally speaking, I think that's kind of a generalized version of what retirement and later life kind of looks like here in the United States. But I have a feeling things might be a little different, at least in the early retirement stage, for individuals that are closer to my age. So individuals, like I said, that are in their 20s right now, in their 30s and so on. And the way I think the way I think early retirement is going to differ potentially is that I think that individuals are going to go abroad, actually. I think people are going to retire technically here in the United States and take their money and go elsewhere with it, whether that be somewhere in Europe or Asia or basically anywhere else where the cost of living is significantly lower than here it is in the United States. And the reason I think this is that I think there is also a general consensus that putting money away for retirement, at least at this point in time, is difficult enough as is, right? With wages not really being that high, compounding that with how expensive it is to just be around, right? I've talked about this in previous videos, how expensive it is here in the United States just to contribute, right? Just to do your part. It takes a lot of money to do that. And I think what's going to happen is that I don't know exactly if things are really going to change. If things stay consistent, I can definitely see my opinion here being, coming into fruition, where people take their money after retirement, the little bit that they might have, and basically try to live a more fulfilling life elsewhere, because their money just simply isn't going to go as far here in the United States. Now, obviously, there's a question of, how much do we need in retirement? How long is it going to take to get there, and so on? And there's all these other questions that kind of surround what I'm kind of talking about right here. But as I've seen from, a lot of different individuals and news that I read about, what I see about is that getting to, that $1 million point, right? Which is what a lot of people talk about. A lot of financial advisors will say, chase $1 million, chase, a little bit over $1 million, whatever it may be between all of your assets. I just don't know if that is going to quite be enough to have a retirement and into your later years, where your medical expenses are going to go up, and evidently you're going to have to start paying for late life assistance, which is obscenely expensive. It is far outpaced inflation on a year-to-year basis. I think it's becoming more and more difficult for younger individuals to get on solid financial tracks. And like I said previously, this is due to a few factors, right? Wages generally not being that high on a median basis. We already know that that's the case. But the cost of living, right? The cost of your essential expenses being high as well. And not a lot of people want to go through life not having any sort of fun, right? What's the point in that? And those endeavors generally tend to cost a lot of money too. So there's no easy answer to to all of those issues. But as far as the outlook for retirement, at least the way that I see it, is that people are going to get to their retirement point, look at their the balance that they have, and basically have a decision of, they can stick it out here in the United States and hope that the market performs very well, and continue to budget, continue to be very tight with their money to make it through, or they take their money, go to an area where the cost of living is far less, and be able to basically do whatever they want, right? The only downer with that is obviously that they'd be in a different country, right? They wouldn't be around, potentially all of their friends and family and so on. But who knows? Maybe by the time you're at retirement, maybe you won't really have much of a family, right? I don't want to get too grim on it, but that is something that individuals I think will maybe consider when that time comes along here. So within about 50 years, 40 years, something like that for individuals my age, um, you know, going into retirement. But I definitely do believe that this is something that might become very common. Is that there would almost be these hubs of retirement communities in other countries that Americans go to basically get a better deal on retirement and have their money go a little bit longer in life. Because, like I said, I don't foresee people having more money, right? Individuals my age, in my age group, having more money into their retirement, because it is very, very difficult, I think, for a lot of individuals, the individuals that I've worked with and the stories that I hear about online. And the data, of course, doesn't lie as well, where despite the fact that there are a certain amount of people that are becoming very, very wealthy in this country, there's a lot of people, right? The majority of people that are still struggling. So this is one of those situations where really only time will tell, right? So we don't know exactly what's going to happen, so we're just going to have to wait and see. So there you go. That is going to conclude this episode of Monologue Monday and what I believe the future might be for retirement for individuals that are currently in their 20s here living in the United States. But of course, I want to hear from you guys as well. What do you think are some options that might be popular when individuals that are younger in their prime working years right now might have or might experience when the time for retirement comes? Please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, if you've stuck along this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for your time. And as always, happy financing.